Hi students, I am Radhika Dassan from Bambadi Girls High School. Today we are studying a very interesting unit, Biosphere. This is a major question in your O-level examination. This is a theory subject, so listen carefully. First one, environmental equilibrium. The organism and the physical environment have a balanced relationship. This favorable relationship is referred to as the environmental equilibrium. And you know that the levels of organizations, individual, populations, communication, ecosystem and biosphere. And next one. We will know about the definition for it. The organism or species, a group of organisms that can breed and produce a fertile offspring. This bottom part in here. Thank you, Google. This is a nice picture now, so you can understand well. And populations, a group of organisms of the same species living together, and this is must compete for resources. And community, several populations that interact and changes in one population will cause changes in the others. And finally, this is the ecosystem. We already know that the ecosystem, a lot of ecosystem present in our surroundings. So the interactions between populations and their surroundings, this is majorly two types, terrestrial and aquatic part. So terrestrial one, forest, and aquatic is the oceans or sea. And this is a biosphere. We already know that the hydrosphere, lithosphere and atmosphere are present in our environment, and if the living organism present in it is called as a biosphere. So three main parts are present of organisms: air, water and crust. And next one, growth of populations and growth curves. We already know that the populations, so the number of organisms of species living in a unit area of a settled habitat is called as a population density. This is affect four factors as birth, death and immigration and emigration. So we already know that newborn is called as a birth, death is called as number of dies, and immigrations, number of organisms add to the population from outside, and emigrations, number of organisms leave the population. We already heard the human immigration and emigration in our daily life now. So next one, this is a typical growth curve of populations, and this is exponential and limited one. This is not included in a mathematics part. This is only just a curve. That's, remember that. And J curve, that is the exponential one, and limited S curve, logistic growth. And next one, we already studied in a grade 7 and grade 8 classroom, food chain. A simple food chain transfer of energy within an exosystem is called as a food chain. That is a line and arrow of include in here and to indicate the food chain. And next one is the food web, complex food chain we called as a food web. And this is a very simple example for the food chain. Plant is a producer, so we indicate as a level 1, and herbivores, next one is a herbivore, only the first consumer we called as a herbivores, next one is a carnivore, and finally the decomposers. Thank you, Google. And next one, this is a very interesting simple example in an aquatic system. This is a simple food web in food chain in here. The planktons are producers, and next one is the zooplanktons, and next one is the small fish, and next one is the large fish, finally predator in eagle. Right? Complex food is called as a food web. So a lot of competitions are present in it. This is a very simple example for the food web. So you know that how many food chains are present in a food web, and how many what are the producers are present in it, and herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, what are they? An example for it. This is the question for it, so remember that. And next one, trophic levels, and you know that the feeding level is called as a trophic levels, that is divided in 3 types as like autotrophs, heterotrophs and saprophytes. So you know the autotrophs, feeding methods, autotrophs and heterotrophs. So the producers are the autotrophs. Or producers are divided in 2 types as like a photoautotrophic and hemioautotrophic. And next one is the heterotrophs is divided in 2 types as like a consumer and decomposer. Consumer are 2 types as like primary and secondary one. Decomposer, detrivers and sapphires. Yeah, example for the trophic levels, plants is the producer, and second primary consumer, example for the grasshopper and ground squirrel, and next one is the primary carnivore, example for the scorpion, and finally for tertiary consumer is golden eagle. So you know that plant is the autotrophs, and another one is a herbivore, and next one is the primary carnivore, and finally is the secondary carnivore. And next you know the ecological pyramids. You must remember the definition for it. So food chains can also represented by ecological pyramid by arranging the organism at various trophic level is called as a ecological pyramid. So that is divided in 3 types. You know that number of organisms we call number pyramids, and biomass biopyramids, and energy transferring is energy pyramids. So next one, number pyramids. That is also including your examinations. So listen carefully. These are graphical representations of number of organisms in different trophic level called number pyramids. So you know that number of organisms per square meter is the unit of it. So you know that the example and draw the diagram also. So that is very important for it. Grass is the producer, and next one deer or cattle, and next one bird. This is the upward grassland pyramid and number pyramid, grassland number pyramid. This is a forest ecosystem. Tree is the producer, elephant is the herbivore, lion is the carnivore. And aquatic system or pond, in pond, the producer is the phytoplankton, and phytoplankton eats the zooplankton, finally the fish. So this is the inverted number pyramid. And next one, biomass. The graphical representations that shows the total amount of organic matter present in a different trophic level called biomass pyramid. So you know that the biomass number dry mass is called that. Dry mass of organism is the biomass. So you remember that in lower part autotrophs, and next one herbivore, another one carnivore, and finally top carnivore. And pyramid of biomass, you know that this is a 2 types, upright and inverted one. So you know that this is a producer in here, and next one is the herbivore, and next one is a primary carnivore, and top of carnivore in here. This is upright pyramid of biomass. And in aquatic system, inverted biomass pyramid present in it. You already know that. And next energy pyramid. This is also very interesting one. This is in your examination, you must see in your structural part. So listen carefully. The graphical representations that shows the amount of energy flow through the different trophic level is called as energy pyramids. So you know that the energy flow through in trophic level, that's very important. So in here, this is a pyramid in here, the lower part is the producer and transfer the energy to another primary consumer. At that moment, you know that 90% of energy lost to the environment and only the 10% of energy transfer from it. So another part, the secondary consumer, the 90% of energy lost to the environment as a heat or something as like that, and only the 10% of energy transfer it. So secondary consumer only has 1% of energy. And finally the third level consumer, so the 10% so only the 0.1% of energy in it. So you know that the carnivores has only 0.1, very minute or small energy consisted. So you don't eat carnivore, only eat vegetarian, that's good for it. And next one, sun. And during the photosynthesis, the energy transfer from it, the plant is autotrophic, you already know that. The another one is a herbivore. Herbivore is the rabbit in here and transfer the energy from it. You already know that only the 10% of energy transfer from it. And next one is the carnivore or omnivore in it. So you know that only the 1% on energy in it. So these type of loss of energy during the transferring energy from one trophic level to next is called as a dissipation. Dissipation, this is another word for you. And next one, biochemical cycles. This is also very interesting one. So you know that this is a process of cyclic circulation of essential components through atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere of biosphere is called as a biogeochemical cycle. This is the definition for you. And this is divided in three types mainly: carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle and phosphorus cycle. You know that the carbon cycle also include in your examination essay type questions in it. Atmosphere is a resource one. So in here the process are indicated in red color and the reservoirs are indicated in violet or purple color in here. So you know that the process, respirations, photosynthesis and singing and decompositions, burning, these are the process in the environment and liberated the carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide in to the atmosphere and balanced to the atmosphere in a cycle process. So you know that. And next one, nitrogen cycle. This is a nitrogen. You already know that the 78% of nitrogen present in our atmosphere, that is very important gas in our air column. So you know that the nitrification, some bacteria use the fixation process in Nitrosomonas or Nitrobacter and used to the ammonia, changed the ammonia and nitrifying bacteria changed to the nitrogen trioxide, and finally the denitrification bacteria, denitrification process occur in it, and finally the nitrogen come to the atmosphere. This is a cycle process. So you know that some terms, chemical terms are in here: nitrifications, denitrifications, assimilations, fixing of nitrogen. These are the words. So you know that what is that? What are the changes occur in it? Write down the equation for it. That's very important. And next one, phosphorus cycle. That's not necessary for it, but you know that phosphorus cycles also include in a cyclic biogeochemical cycle. And environmental pollution, that's very interesting one. You know that nowadays the world is always frequently say the word of environmental pollutions. Our corona time nowadays nearly 4 months corona time, the ozone layer also covered, and at that moment the environmental pollutions also reduced. The NASA also said that NASA also research and produced the results to the environmental pollutions too. So you know that only the 4 month dedications changed the world as the environmental pollutions, reduced the environmental pollutions day by day. And you know that the sources in here, a lot of sources to pollute, always man-made things. Man-made things are making a pollution, so be careful to handle every work. And you know that our responsible to save our environment. You know that the air, soil and water also polluted by our day by day activities. So first one, this is the example for it, agricultural wastes. You know that this is the agricultural waste in here. Chemical fertilizer, pesticides have become essential for the present day high yield crops. You know that the weedicide, pesticide, fungicides, these are used in chemicals in our field and get a lot of harvesting from it. So that's not good for our health. You know that the organic product is very important. That is also expensive nowadays, but you know that that is health also maintained from it. Chemical fertilizers and pesticide. Chemical fertilizers and pesticide are used by the farmers to protect crops from insects and bacteria. This is a chemicals that is harmful for our organs, our body. So you know that to prevent the usage of chemicals, that's very important, because organic food is very important to introduce by our countries. So we continue the another part. Greenhouse gases. Greenhouses, you already know that the increasing the temperature is called as a global warming. Some gases are methane, nitrogen oxides, carbon dioxide, ozones, chlorofluorocarbon, carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide are induce the greenhouse effect. You know that the global warming, increasing the temperature during that time, the ice cubes are melting in Antarctic places, and it caused the flood. And after the flood occurred, a lot of deaths are occurred in our environment, and economical losses also include in here. So we know that greenhouse effects, these gases are liberated in the environment, so we control from my activities. That's very important. And next one is the secondary sources of heavy metals. So most of the animals affected in aquatic places and soils, land places too. You know that in industrial purposes they apply a lot of chemicals, and after it's also release some heavy metals as like lead, mercury, cadmium and arsenic too. So that is harmful for our body, not only for our body but also harmful for our environment too. What are the diseases occurred through using added to the heavy metals in our body? You know that kidney failure is a major one for the arsenic, and you know asthmatic problem, wheezing problem, brain death and gastrointestinal problems, lung problems. These are the problems affected by heavy metal usage. And next one is the acid rain. This is also very interesting one. Some gases as like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide are added in our atmosphere at that moment. Rain also occur in it and dissolve the sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide and produce the acid, strong acid at that moment, and cause to the acid rain. This is the definition for it. So next one, effect of acid rain. That's the questions for you. That's very important. So in your structure part, so you remember that. So in here, the acid rain damages the leaves of plants and trees and retards the growth of forest. And next, wash out the nutrients from the soil. Nutrients are wash out it. So you know that lack of nutrition is a major problem for it, and get a lot of problems in the plant diversity. And next, significant reductions of fish populations and decrease in aquatic microorganisms. And next one, damage to the building and structural materials, corrosion of houses, monuments, statues and bridges too. Corrosion also made by acids. Strong acids are corrosive nature, so that monuments, statues are corrosive process occur in it. And next, the human nervous system and respiratory system and digestive system may get affected. And acid rain reduces the rate of photosynthesis too, and reduce the growth of plant. Domestic waste. Tons of domestic waste is dumped every day. Some waste from homes, offices and industries can be recycled or burnt in incineratory process. So you know that the domestic wastage such as example for our home delivered products like plastic or vegetables too. And use the dustbin, that's very important, and proper disposal also good for prevent from this work. And next one, e-waste. E-waste means wasted the electrical electronics equipment, whole or part of rejects from their manufacturing and repair process which are intended to be discarded is called as e-waste. You know that a lot of electronic equipment we used in our day-to-day life activities such as computer, telephone, radio, such as etc. So proper it decomposes. It cannot be decomposed by bacteria. So that is also waste in our environment. And our garbage which also covered with this it. And next one is what is nuclear fuel. You know that the nuclear energy sources that results from the splitting of atoms is nuclear fuel. Combustion also occur in it. At the moment the radiations occur in it. Uranium is a major element to radiate some energy from it, and that is nuclear fuels are released to the factories from industrial works. So that is caused to the environmental problem too. And you already know that this is a waste of lot of waste of plastics, polythenes, and some Teflons, nylon, that's like a polymers too in here that is not decomposed. So a lot of domestic waste dumped in our garbage pit after it caused to the problem, environmental pollutions too. And this is another part for the food additives. Why we use the food additives? You know that food additives, flavoring purposes, preservatives, coloring agents, emulsifying nutrients, antioxidant. So we use the food additives in this manner, and we induce our induced to consume the food. So that's not suitable, or that's not good for our health too. That's caused the cancer problem. That's very important fact to cause the allergies, hyperactivities, and this is also caused the toxicity too. So food additives, we use to the preservatives, that is not suitable for our daily life activities. You know that the story of cosmetic, we apply the Fair and Lovely or Pond's cream or Fair, we apply the creams, and after we use to the creams and we dispose through the environment, in the environment, so it caused the problem. And this is also environmental pollutions and atmospheric pollutions also in it. And next one also cleaning products, wash, and you know that the Surf Excel and phenol, Dettol, Lysol, these are the example for the cleaning products. We apply the cleaning products and waste materials as like plastic, polythenes, empty vessels. These also cause to the environmental problem, and it causes to the harmful for our human body too. You know, if you know that we apply the medicines, that's very dangerous. Nowadays we are used to the medicine as our food. That's not good for our health. You know that if you get any medicine from our pharmacy, and we will get disease soon, and our age also lost from it. Now you know that a lot of problem caused by in our day-to-day life activities. And another one is a type of paints. You know that the paints, lots colors are in here, that apply the colors, the smell is not suitable, that is allergy. It causes the allergy and make a cancer, and that is not suitable. The vessels are not suitable for cause to the problem. Environmental pollutions as like land pollution, that's one. And some paints are mixed into the water, aquatic area, and it causes to the biodiversity problem too. And you know, POPs. Do you hear the POPs? Persistent organic pollutants is called as POPs. Chemical substance that persist in the environment, bioaccumulated through the food web, and pose a risk of causing adverse effect of human health and the environment is called as POP. You know, the POPs cause to the problem not only for our environment but also for our health too. And you know, persist in the environment for a long of time period and accumulate in the body of organism along food chain, and highly toxic, widely dispersed in the environment. This is a major problem by the POPs. And you know what are the POPs? Example for it, DDT. DDT, we don't use, nowadays we don't use the DDT. At that ancient time we always used the DDT product from the ants, insects. Okay, and next one, ozone layer. Ozone depletions. You already heard about that. The coronavirus time, the ozone layer also covered. The NASA also says about that matter because our transporting through the air column also prohibited because the lockdown time now, so transports also reduces, and some accumulated by government. So at that moment worldwide the ozone layer also covered, and also ozone layer holes are filled. So that moment ultraviolet rays cannot transfer from the troposphere layer. Okay, you already heard about that. and this is ozone layer depletion that is caused to our skin cancer. That's a major problem, and a lot of problems occur by the ozone layer depletions. Environmental problems as like some unwanted rays, cosmic rays, visible rays also transfer from it and cause to the plant growth too. And next one, the photochemical smoke. Do you hear the photochemical smoke? I think you already know that. And water, nitrogen dioxide, nitrogen monoxide, ozone also added into the environment and make a cloud like a structure is called as a biochemical smoke, photochemical smoke, sorry. And that's the effect of photochemical smokes are if headaches, eye, nose and throat irritations, impaired lungs functions, coughing and wheezing, damages to materials, ozone causes rubber to deteriorate, and effect for the atmosphere reduce the visibility. This is caused by the photochemical smoke. And next one, biomagnification. This is the questions for you in your structure part. And you know that the pollution in the environment causes to the biomagnifications. The effects are pollutants accumulate in fat of organisms, and polluted move up to the food chain. So the solutions to reduce the water pollutions, more organic farmers. You only see in the aquatic system part. This is food chains too, and this is also caused to the pollutions in the aquatic system too. This is example for the biomagnification. And next one, eutrophications. That is also very interesting. One short notes part, you must heard about this word of eutrophications. Nitrogen and phosphorus is the major complement to produce the eutrophication effect. What is the eutrophications? The algae blooming on a pond or aquatic system and floated on a surface of aquatic system. So the sun also cannot transfer from the water column and make the eutrophication effect. After that, the biodiversity of aquatic also lost in here. And next one, fossil fuel. This is a combustion style that is also made caused the problem of air pollutions. What are the gases added into the combustion process time? You know that the carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur, nitrogen dioxide, nitric oxide, hydrocarbons. You already know that the carbon and hydrogen made the substance of hydrocarbons. That is also fossil fuels, combustions that make pollutions too. And next, health effect of pollutions. You already know that every activity, each action has a opposite reaction. So man-made things make a health effect. What are the health effects for it? That is caused to the cancer, nausea, skin irritations, allergies, and cardiological problems, heart attack. That is also caused by the air pollutions, water pollutions and land pollutions. So we must prevent the pollution from our activity. What are the activity to prevent from it? Waste management. Waste management. How to manage the waste materials? That is important one. Nowadays, the government also produce the things in our school, libraries and factories, how to dispose the waste materials in a segregation method. As like paper is indicated as blue, and glass is green, and plastic also yellow, and metals are red. This is another one for the segregation part. Organic also, cyan color. Paper, I already say that blue, and e-waste is orange. Yellow is orange, and plastic is yellow, and glass is green, metal is red, and mixed waste are violet. That's very important. You must remember that. And waste materials must be disposed very carefully through this method. And we use the waste materials as like plastic and polythene in recycle, reuse, reduce, 3R concept, and to protect our environment through this process too. And next one, energy management. That is also a good management, and through reduce the pollutions. Reduce the pollutions and use the resources very carefully to use by the energy management process too. And you know that the improving productivity, increasing products, service quality, and raising awareness of importance of energy conservation, improving environmental quality, developing and maintaining effective monitoring, reporting and management strategies for wise energy usage. These are the methods to use the energy management work too. Energy management cycle. This is a cycle in here. Planning, implementations, reporting and monitoring, commitment, and finally the process also get conclusion is product is good for it. So this is the energy management cycle, and apply in your day-to-day life activity, and we use to the sustainable energy too. We apply the sustainable energy. What are the sustainable energy? We use the energy efficiently, economically, and you use to the natural energy as like a solar used by the solar panel used by a solar, and wind pan. These are the natural resources. So we get the natural resource to use as a sustainable energy. Okay students, today we are studying an interesting part of biosphere. You know that the biosphere, definition for the biosphere, that's very important for it. And you know that cycles as like a carbon and nitrogen cycles, and trophic levels as autotrophs, heterotrophs for the feeding methods, and next one for the food web, food chains, and you also know that the for environmental pollutions, how to prevent the pollutions, and finally we also know that the energy management and sustainable energy usage too. So are you clear? Thank you very much.